Sachin, we have approved the request. Oh yeah, we can see you now. Finally. I think my dad was right about Shubha Muhurta being at.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Keshava.
I said my dad was right about the fact that the Shubh Muhurta is 1:30 and not 1 o'clock.
All right. Sorry for the whatever happens to the internet, it happens at the right time, I guess. I don't know. Or the wrong time.
Late than never, but then it's good to have you back, and I think everybody is joining in again. So it's great.
Okay.
So Sachin, without any further ado, let us begin the session. I have told in my the previous live as to what exactly you do, and but I have not told the people how you do it and what makes Joshi Sachin Joshi. Okay, so that is what exactly we want to know today, and that is why you are here. So just say I am the Arnab Goswami of BNI Orion today, and the business world wants to know what makes Sachin Joshi. Okay, so without any further ado, Sachin, I have a set of questions I have designed over here. So they are just basic questions, and I'm not going to grill you, but I'm just going to ask. We're going to make it a little fun as well for the world to know what you do and how you do it. So Sachin, first question, a most cliche question, but a very important question nevertheless. Tell us about your journey in short. Maybe in short, if you could tell us what brought you here, what made you a restaurant consultant, what inspired you to become a restaurant consultant is the first thing we'd like to know.
Okay, so I think keeping everything short, 30 years of journey is pretty long, yeah, Keshava. Though I will try to keep it as short as possible. Well, I've been a chef all my life, 30 plus years. And then while doing my restaurant, one fine day I realized there are a lot of people who are coming to me saying that, oh, your restaurant looks good. What do you want to do about it? Can you help us out? Can you set the menu? So I started bits and pieces for everybody. And that's how my little journey began. And before that, in the year 2000, 2001, 2003, I did a lot of stints in collaboration with bigger hotels, wherein I actually had to set up a new place, go there, but as part of the organization. So that and this knowledge combined helped me. And that's where I thought that, yeah, this is a good source where I can actually utilize my entire learning, which I've done in all these 30 plus years. So my kitchen aspect was the key anyway. And kitchen is the key anyway to any restaurant or a hotel business. But while doing that, the planning of exactly how the whole thing fits in, what kind of cuisine is offered, and so on and so forth. There's so many intricacies which happen during the course of setting up a place. Is what I could garner together and put it in front of people. And I thought of doing it in a very independent manner. And soon I realized, yes, there were many calls for that. And I said, okay, let it begin. And so it's almost now 8th year, 9th year. I'm doing it now.
So what journey? What were the kind of challenges you faced?
Sorry, what are the kind of?
Sachin, am I audible?
Yeah, now.
What are the kind of challenges you faced in this entire journey? Because coming this far would have definitely, because people are always skeptical of new ideas. So if somebody says that I am a consultant for a restaurant, they may or may not be like sharing everything. So what were the kind of challenges you faced, and how did you manage to convince people to let them know the importance of a person like yourself?
So you hit the nail bang on the head. First and foremost, it's like you're going to a doctor. And what do you do there? You don't tell him you have a headache. You don't tell him you have a body ache of sorts. You just tell him, ki, boss, doctor, I have some kind of this thing. Give me a crocin or give me something. And doctor says, hang on, that's not the way to go about it. That is exactly what I tell people. Say somebody wants to open up a restaurant. He or she has to come up with their ideation, their thought process, and actually the economics portion also. Okay, I'm not a chartered accountant by profession, but it is something which is very important, because ultimately, no matter how passionate you are about anything, if you don't make money, it doesn't make sense. So that is where I pitch myself very strongly, telling them, look, I have a strong 30 years of background, wherein in my life, I have had lots of ups and downs. And I give them some examples of how I've gone through, be it a kitchen problem, be it a staffing problem, be it an equipment problem, and what is that I had done wrong, and how can I safeguard the whole process. Now, while doing all that, I realized that people then started coming to me saying that, oh, you have been through all this. We don't want to go through all this. So can you come in on board with us? And then it's the negotiation thing. And then you know what happens next.
So Sachin, there's a very curious question at this point. I mean, that comes to my head. Uh, I'm not asking you to tell me everything because I know that you would have a very tailor-made process for handling certain situations. But in your opinion,
Yeah.
what do you think would be the challenges that are faced by a young restaurant owner that they need to keep in? What are the challenges? I'm not asking for solutions, but what are the challenges that people like do not foresee when they start in the restaurant business? Sachin? Sachin, am I audible? Sachin, am I audible? Yes, I can hear you.
So one of the biggest challenges which people have faced, I don't know other industries, but my industry per se is, you build a restaurant and you keep saying that, look, I want to do an Indian restaurant or a continental or whatever you have, be it a local cuisine also. You tend to spend all the money at one go. But in our industry, the biggest challenge is sustenance. And to hold on, to have a great working capital. Probably you'll need a working capital which is little, almost equal to the capital cost. So you have to be very, very careful, and you have to plan exactly. So you have at least a 6 months buffer. Sorry, I'm giving a
Mhm.
solution, but I mean, that's the way it goes. So you have to be very, very careful about how much money you have and how do you want to spend it. And that is my
Mhm.
first lesson when I actually join a company as a consultant. I tell them,
Okay.
just tell me what is the kind of cash flow you have. And that cash flow determines the end result. Because
Okay. Brilliant. Mhm.
sorry, I'll just continue. Everybody says that whatever you do, there's a 999 days waiting period.
Mhm.
And that's true probably for every industry, but especially in our industry, people get used to the kind of food you're serving. People get used to the kind of people you have. People get used to the kind of atmosphere you set in. People get used to so many things which are associated with you and your restaurant, that
Mhm.
they start identifying it as one of their own. And
Okay.
that is
Brilliant.
where it is called that apnapan, mera restaurant, aapka restaurant. And that is where the whole amalgamation takes place.
No doubt. So, Sachin, at this point, I have another question in mind. Can you
Yeah.
share with us one of the biggest challenges that could have come in front of you and how you resolved it? Because in your journey, when I say how you resolved it, is what was the end result that you achieved? What was the greatest challenge you have ever faced with a client? Because I'm sure you would have had clients who would have come to you literally with nothing, or maybe a very big problem in front of them, and they don't know which way to go. And they have been struggling for months or years to solve that problem, but they were not able to find the right solution. But you were the knight in shining armor for them, and you actually made it happen. So, can you like just share maybe one or two incidents where being a restaurant consultant made a difference in the lives of somebody else?
Um, okay. So the average tendency of an owner is to just go about doing things, and they don't really worry about anything. Okay. Now it is always taken for granted that most of the owners who actually own a space do not have much of knowledge in the hospitality world. See, they are owners. They would like to own a restaurant, like a builder, like a contractor, like an architect, or so many other people in different sectors. So the people who are working for them tend to take advantage of what they're doing. So for example, if I'm the owner of a space and I have no knowledge about food and beverages and so on and so forth, then what happens is I have a staff of say 45 people. One fine day, they'll just get up and say, okay, we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have oil, we don't know how to serve people. Maybe there are 100 people sitting outside. So they take the owner to ransom. And that is where the owner flusters and starts giving them more money. And when he starts paying them more, he's caught in the trap.
Oh my God.
Or he says, you're all useless and get lost. And the staff one fine day takes all 40 people together and vanishes. So
Wow.
me being present simply because of the experience which I have, just being present in a scenario, it's very easy for me to deal with the owner as well as to deal with the people who are working for the owner. So I can always talk to those people, look, what you're doing is not correct and blah, 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 blah. And I can tell the owner, look, you need to be a little aware of what you are doing. So let's have the situation under control for now and let's tackle it later. So these are operational problems, but in the restaurant business, it's all about the moment. If things are not tackled at the moment, everything goes astray. One small mistake and you get a internet comment that, oh, you're bad, you're not good, you're slow, the owner does not know, I think he should shut down. Oh, believe me, I must have got 500 such comments in my lifetime, but that's the way it is.
Wow. So Sachin, what is your greatest success story till now?
Okay. How do I put it? As a consultant is what you're asking, or because life has thrown so many challenges.
What's your greatest success story?
My greatest success, I can't say greatest because greatest is sort of a dream referral or dream project which I'm still begging to do. And there are a couple of huge projects lined up in front of me. But recently I finished a project which was on 3.5 acres of land.
Wow.
Yeah. And you would think that probably it's a resort or a hotel or something. No, it has no rooms. It is just a huge banquet.
Okay.
It has a restaurant. It has a disc, and it has a lounge. So combining all those things together, and that's what makes that entire 3.5 acres of space. And it is huge to the eyes. And, I actually had trouble in thinking how many chairs can I fit in. So, I always ended up having an argument with the architect. He said, no, this is aesthetically right. I said, chuck the aesthetic for some time. Let's see how can we manage, and we need to get the productivity out and so on and so forth. But I think that was the best so far. Of course, another 55-room property which I did a few years back in Goa also had different challenges. So the challenges just vary from time to time and with different set of people, be it the government agencies or be it your local contractors. So
that's amazing. Now, Sachin, let's come to the main question of today's session. As you know that our interview is called as the Pandemic Podcast. This is the name we... So how did the pandemic affect your industry in particular? You being a restaurant consultant, and as you know that so many food industries got shut down or were temporarily decommissioned. How did it affect you and how did it affect the industry? Is the first question. I'm going to follow it with the second as well. And the second question is going to be, how did you manage to come back on your feet? And how many people have been there who have been brought back to their feet because of a person like yourself?
Okay, wow. I think let's start one by one. So what has happened? What has happened during the pandemic? So pandemic has literally shut down the entire. Now I'm only talking about hospitality. Everything else also shut down. The entire hospitality world. And till date, the hospitality world is suffering. Now, hospitality, I take the entire tourism industry because hospitality is part of tourism. Now for that industry to reel back into the life and getting a little bit of oxygen coming back into life, it's going to take a while. I'm not saying that it's going to happen tomorrow. It'll probably take a year to really come back to normalcy for each and every person, because again we are riddled with so many norms, There are new techniques. We have to follow new operation standards. So there are many challenges which are coming to the owners per se. Yeah, because all this while we have either be behaving ourselves in a slightly haphazard manner, which you have seen in some restaurants, and in some restaurant in a very nice and easy manner. So all those things combined, now we have to cope up with that. Now, how did I manage this? Uh, it was tough. It was tough. So it was tough, not physically, it was mentally tough. Because all this time we are actually used to working for almost 18 hours a day, 14 to 18 hours a day. And suddenly everything comes to a standstill. I think life teaches you somewhere sometime. So it's better to go with what the nature does to you and try to understand and live within those means. But while we are doing that, I did a lot of studies of some failures, some past failures, some successes. I did a lot of reading on cookbooks. I did a lot of old ancient reading of how our Puranas and how our Vedic foods and stuff. And it was a fun activity for me because I read a lot. I saw a lot of television shows. So all in all, it was a good learning curve. So I learned a lot. I actually sat down with my books and I studied just in order to, have more knowledge, because ultimately your knowledge drives whatever you do.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
yeah. So now coming back to what we did after this thing. So in our industry, it says that 40% of all restaurants are going to close down, have already closed down in that range. Now the thing could go up above 40 or, in that range. Now, what I tell the 60% of the people who are still in the rat race or still in the race of running the restaurant business is that you have 40% more opportunity. So you can really expand yourself. And all the newcomers who want to enter the industry say there are a lot of people who still want to do a restaurant business, who still want to do a hotel business. I would say, look, now it is more clear. You will know exactly where the world stands. So you know exactly what to pitch in. With our help, you can actually pitch in the right place at the right time. So this is an opportunity for a lot of people to put in their money and get started. It happens in the share market too, right? When the market tanks, people tend to put in money. So when the market tanks, people...
Here is this one thing that comes to my mind. As a restaurant consultant, what are the kind of services you usually provide to these people? I mean, see, we all are consultants. I'm a legal consultant. We have financial consultants. We have share market consultants. Since you have taken the example of share markets, we have branding consultants. But as a restaurant consultant, maybe in layman's terms, what is it that you exactly tell people means what is that main thing that you would advise a person for to give that person success in his or her restaurant business?
So success is another part of the story, I would say. What we normally do is we understand the psychology of a person who wants to invest. Why does he want to invest? It is just faddism that, look, I want to invest in a restaurant because I want to own one. That doesn't happen all the time. But then there are serious people who say, no, I'm very passionate about A, B, and C, and I want to open. So what all do we do? So we do everything practically from what an architect does not do in a place. Okay. So we help in identifying the spaces, the location with, so if they have their own a person who does does his job for identifying spaces, so be it. Or we have so many people with us also as part of BNI network. Also, we have a lot of people with us. Okay, then as we go on, we tell them, we can even suggest architects. They come to us, so we start from scratch. Then they have that. The best part is they have the chartered accountant. So with their chartered accountant, we actually sit down and rework the whole plan, the whole business plan. And once we do the business plan, we set the ball rolling that, look, this much of capital is required for this much. So we do kitchen layout, kitchen planning, staff training, the bar planning, rooms planning. The entire staffing is done by us. the housekeeping, and right down till the start day, till the first day of the restaurant starting arises. So we do all your computerized whatever software you need and so on and so forth till day one. Even to the tune that we also help in identifying what uniforms you are supposed to wear. So once we do that, then we handhold them till the time they require us to be there. It's like on day one, if they say, okay, Sachin, you and your team can just say goodbye, then we just walk away. Or most of the time it happens that we need to handhold them for at least 6 months. So which is what we do. And, we make sure that the operation is running smoothly. The owners understand, the managers understand, and the people who are working for them understand. So when everybody comes together and understand the whole process, then probably we are not required. And we hunt for another one.
Wow. So Sachin, can I just add a little joke over here? So can I say that you are the reason Ronald McDonald still has his business?
Wow. Okay. I take it.
So I would totally say that that's what makes you, because I never understood restaurant consultant as a business. But after having a much detailed conversation on this, I realized that even the branding aspect, on the demeanor, the kind of environment that you create, the kind of branding that a person needs to do, what a person should not do, the kind of a uniform, whether it is comfortable to the eyes, because a lot of the food industry, I believe, works on psychology, if I'm not wrong. And you are a person who's like the food psychologist, or the restaurant psychologist, as we can call it, is what I would like to term in this scenario. This has been a very brilliant point. So Sachin, would you advise anybody to get into the business of opening a restaurant in this situation?
Oh, absolutely. So just let me take you a bit backwards. So while we are consulting in the same restaurant business, since we happen to be chefs and all, we also consult in parallel food industries of establishing food businesses, because it's all about food, and they follow the same pattern as restaurant consulting. We also get into the franchise model of the businesses, and we create for them. Sorry. Now getting on to, would you advise people to? Yes, like I said, definitely yes. Why not? Because what I say that, imagine 40% of the ground is getting cleared for you, and you as a new recruit, new soldier, new player is entering the market with 40% barren land. So shall you reap.
So Sachin, here comes this one particular question again. I mean, this question came to me from a friend of mine whom I was talking to. He asked me, if you are a restaurant consultant, okay, what are that one particular loophole that you look for, wherein you can advise a person like Sachin to guide them? Like, for example, in the legal industry, we observe an organization and we see if the organization is missing something. That is where we offer our services. So as a restaurant consultant, what is it that one should be looking for in a restaurant? Let's say that I walk up to a food joint, I'm standing over there, I am consuming their food. What is it that I should be looking for over there to be able to recommend them to become your clients, or to be able to recommend them to take an advice from a stalwart like yourself?
So once you get into your observation tentacles opened out, for a person like me, it's very easy to find mistakes in whatever establishment the other side is running in. But I observe simple things. Is there a spelling mistake on the menu card? What are the cooks doing behind the line? Are they talking too much within themselves? Do they need some kind of training? Is this a chain of restaurant, or is it a standalone place? And these are very, very minute points before actually entering into the more detailed version of it. So the first thing I would say is, when I look at the menu card, so do I call it a masala mix, or do I say, isme kuch gadbad hai? And when the food comes out, you anyway come to know.
So great. So these are things. What are the kind of people you have worked with till now, Sachin? And who are the kind of people you are always looking at connecting with?
Sorry, I didn't get the first point.
Who are the kind of people you have worked with, and who are the kind of people you look at connecting with?
Okay, so again, builders, large organizations, architects, uh, some of the entrepreneurs who are actually first generation entrepreneurs, because they like to enter into a everybody has a dream, and somehow I feel in the present scenario everybody has a dream of owning a restaurant. Real, you really would not know the reason, but I'm happy, I'm very very happy. But yes, I would like to work with such people. Of course, a lot of people who have a lot of money. At the end of the day, the restaurant business is about quite a big chunk of money if it's done to a very proper level.
So, would you say, now this is a very important question, it's the question of the day. Hiring a person like you, is that an expense or an investment?
Investment, 100%. I'll
Okay,
give you an
because
example. Can I?
yes, absolutely. Would love to hear an example.
Okay. So this is a few months ago. One gentleman had come to me, and he wanted to do a resort with all those things where you have those training sessions, and you have those ropes and the jungle theme and stuff like that, like how the Lonavala establishment is one of the Lonavala things. Yeah. And what happened was he created a budget, and there was another party which was trying to sell him their product. So when I sat in those two parties, when one person was telling them like, look, after 2 years you're going to end up making the profits, and this guy saying, oh wow, after 2 years, which means I'll have to put only 3.5 cr and I'm done with, and I'm happy and I'm going to get 5 crores in return, and so on and so forth. It took me exactly 1 minute and 20 seconds to rubbish that guy's scenario, and I actually say 40 lakh rupees of this guy.
Wow.
And it was not that I got the money, or it was not that something happened. I did not get the deal. Nothing happened. But this guy who I was siding actually walked away scot-free, because he said that investment was huge and he would have to spend a lot of money through his pocket. And he said, thank you. But it works. It works.
So
And
that
is the...
It's not an investment, it's a rewarding investment. Rightly said by one of Somkar Dumbre right now. It's not an investment. No wonder. Like hiring a person like you is a rewarding investment. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. That's a brilliant experience that you shared. And now comes to the last question of the day. Since this is on the BNI forum, this is on the BNI Orion's forum, how has BNI supported you in this entire journey? And would you recommend anybody to be a part of this forum?
Okay. So all this time, I have always been saying, and BNI has a fantastic policy, that the givers gain policy, which is actually become, when you wake up in the morning, when you're talking to people, you just talk about givers gain. It just happens to you. You don't have to say that now at the end of the day, I'm a BNI or I'm not a BNI. But BNI has actually instilled those things in you, and givers gain. So BNI is a fantastic platform, and what it has given now, BNI Orion has got 35-40 people who are there, and all of them are standing tall. They're right besides you. You have like a 41 people's army. So there are architects, there are builders, there are contractors, there are n number of people who are supporting you. So BNI is a fantastic thing, and you're not alone. BNI gives you the feeling that you're not alone. So whenever you go in for a battle that you need to open a restaurant, all I have to do is look at the owner, look at the amount of cash flow he has, and say, look, okay, I need maybe an architect, maybe an interior designer, maybe an artist, maybe somebody, maybe a IPR lawyer, I don't know. But this is the list which I have. And do I have them? I have the entire list at my behest, and all are available at a call.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
That's a very sweet thing that you have shared with us, Sachin. That's very nice. Okay. And what is your message to our viewers today? Because a lot of people are going to view this session even later. What is your
Okay.
message to all our viewers today?
If ever you want to invest, start your own place. Do not hesitate. You may
Mm-hmm.
not need a restaurant consultant to actually come and help you. Maybe you can seek his help. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not necessary that a restaurant consultant asks for money all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So don't hesitate. Just follow your passions, follow your dreams. And believe me, there's nothing more rewarding than somebody coming and telling you, oh, it was a fantastic day which I spent at your space. It is an amazing ending line for the end of day. And it's so rewarding, Keshava. I cannot tell you, no words can describe that.
Wow, thanks. That is so beautiful. So, guys, we all know that that was an amazing statement, a set of information and message shared by the stalwart, the great, the man, the myth, the legend, Sachin Joshi himself. So, I'd like to conclude today's session by saying that we all are Arjunas in our own Kurukshetra battle. Okay, but every Arjuna needs a Krishna. So, for every Arjuna in the restaurant industry, in the restaurant or the hotel business, your Krishna is none other than Sachin Joshi himself. So if you need to win this Kurukshetra battle, you need a guide, you need a Sarthi, and you need a support, and you need a man who can support or a woman who can support, like Sachin Joshi. And if you all are looking out to connecting with Sachin Joshi, please like subscribe, like, share BNI Orion, and request for meeting Mr. Sachin Joshi. Sachin Joshi would definitely love to connect with you. And if you are in the industry of restaurants, or if you are in the hotel industry, or if you are in the food industry, and you feel that you just want to know where you have gone wrong or where you can improve, definitely connect to Mr. Sachin Joshi from Metro Mix. You can find him on Instagram, you can find him on Facebook, and most importantly, you can find him on BNI Orion's platform. And he is such an amazing asset to us, an amazing support to us. And we thank you today on behalf of the entire BNI family for giving your time, Sachin, from your busy schedule. And we hope to connect with you all over again. For to watching this, please like, share, and subscribe BNI Orion. Please share this video with all your friends and relatives who you know are in this industry. I am Advocate HB of BNI Orion and looking forward to more episodes from your pandemic podcast created by BNI Orion, especially by Mr. Saurabh Morankar. And like, share, subscribe. God bless. Have a great day. So, I always say, let's make millions. Let's make billions. Thank you, Sachin. Have a great day. Bye bye.
BNI Orion rocks.
Definitely, it rocks.